Brian, why don't you tell us about your guy, Garrett Nussmeir? And look, I say your guy, me LSU.
He is.
Well, actually, real fast. So, Garrett Nussmeir.
Yeah.
From LSU.
Yeah.
Over 5 years, I got him down here, Brian.
Yeah.
I know something interesting about him. He played a bunch of games, but he didn't start all of them.
Didn't start them all.
So I have him down for 22 starts,
right?
But I have him for 26 games with more than 15 throws.
Right.
So I think that's about worth a start, right? Like
that's fair.
Maybe didn't go in early, became in late or something like that. You would know a lot more about that than me. So he passes Parcells. So Parcells' number was 30, I believe. So he doesn't quite get to Parcells' start number or whatever, but he's at 26 right now. 16 wins.
Yeah,
not a whole bunch. 15 touchdowns to 52 touchdowns to 24 picks. So he's close to that 1 to 2 range there. And he's 6'2", 203. Not a huge specimen like some of these other guys that we're going to talk about here. But, Brian, tell us about Garrett Nussmeir, quarterback from LSU.
Yeah, this kid could have very well transferred. He could have jumped in the portal and got out of LSU. He sat behind he sat back, waited for Daniels and all those guys. I mean, he's a guy that was a kind of a highly touted quarterback coming out. His father is the offensive coordinator, Doug Nussmeir, who was with the Cowboys and is now with the Saints. This guy is like when you watch him play, the toughness. He got hurt later in the season and missed several games at the end, or he would have been able to kind of finish out his year. But, man, he has got some serious potential. When you watch him play, you watch the toughness he plays with. He played banged up really all the year. LSU was kind of in transition with their offensive line. He took a lot of hits. This guy could throw from all arm angles. He could drop down. He could sling it sideways. He could throw it over the middle. He keeps his eyes down the field. He's not a big runner. Some of these other guys that you've seen kind of escape, have that ability. Mendoza, as we mentioned, his ability to kind of get in there and then run. There was a lot of criticism that Nussmeir didn't run nearly enough, but when he ran, he was effective in doing that. I'll tell you what, he takes very few unnecessary sacks. You know, you'll see him get rid of the football. He'll make some circus throws that you're like, whoa, what are you doing? LSU through the years have had some outstanding receivers. He's kind of trying to take advantage of that. The thing is about it, like I say, he will put the ball at some risk. You know, he will make some throws that you're going to go in, okay, probably shouldn't have done that, but that's kind of the way he plays. I like the way that he's able to kind of bounce around the pocket, able to move forward. He throws the ball very well on the move is another thing. He could get to his left, get his shoulders around, and then make that throw. So I like the kind of the gunslinger mentality that he has. I wish there were times when watching the games that he wouldn't put the ball in harm's way. Here I'm saying I like the gunslinger part of him, but there were times in games where he clearly was the reason why they were able to stay in games for some of the throws that he made. I love the fact that he's a coach's kid, and you get that football smarts, and I love the toughness about him. And I think for his size, he throws the ball well enough. You could see some deep shots he takes. You could see him hitting guys on the move and it turning into big plays. I don't think the offense necessarily helped him in a lot of ways, but, man, I thought he was a better player last year than this year. But he is somebody that will likely come in the league. I could see this guy being a starter, and I see him in the right system. I could see him having a very nice career where you're working with him in a way where he's winning football games for you, because I think he's got the ability. Hopefully he doesn't come in and turn the ball over, though. That's something, like I say, with some of those careless throws. But if he eliminates that, you got you a damn good quarterback.
Man, Brian, I'm glad you said that. Because one of my biggest takeaways was definitely last year's film.
Yeah.
Now, this is something you're going to hear from me here and there when we breaking down these guys is what year's film I think is better. Mm-hmm. And if you can harness 1 year versus one other year, or just figure out like what happened with whatever year, I think that's when you're going to get the better guy. Brian, I watched Florida from 25.
Yeah.
Up and down game, some overthrows, some nice throws.
Mm-hmm.
Bama 25.
Mm-hmm.
I saw big mental lapses.
Yeah.
Touch was off. Ball was hitting Pam Oliver on the sideline and stuff. I watched Texas A&M 25. Mm-hmm. Bad game. But Brian, USC in 24.
Yeah.
That's beating the shit out of USC.
Yeah.
good placement, good improv, big boy throws, killing them. Baylor 24, bowl game. I say Nuss going crazy, Brian.
Yeah.
I say what the hell going on? And I watched another. I believe it was Bama and 24 too. I just wanted to watch one more game just to like confirm what I saw. Brian, I don't know, and you can tell me better than I could tell you, Brian. I don't know what was happening with the 2025 season.
Yeah, they lost their coordinator, left to go to Notre Dame.
Okay.
Benbrook left to go to Notre Dame, and they had a really good plan for him. You look at also the receivers, I think were a little bit better. Much better for him. So yeah, the offensive line was much better too in 2024. So they were able to protect him a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a struggle. There was a lot on him last year because he was coming back. There was thought, well, LSU's got their quarterback coming back. They're poised. They're going to be poised to win the Southeastern Conference. It was a rough year for the offense overall, though. They just never got any kind of real rhythm. And then they played a really good defense. They'd get shut down. They weren't able to make enough plays. That's on him a little bit too. He's got to find a way to make plays when the things aren't when things are going a little poorly. But to me, this guy's got a lot of talent. I talk about football intelligence. I talk about being a coach's kid. I think there's those elements will maybe help him along the way. He's super smart. He's super tough, but he just needs to get with the right guys in order to when you see him with talented players, he's more than capable of doing that. Is he able to lift players' games? I think that's a little bit of a question about him.
Sure, 100%. Processing was an issue for me, kind of up and down.
Yeah.
But what I came away with is if you can take whatever y'all was doing in 2024,
right,
like that level of coaching matching up with like some other coach that's doing weird shit to you or whatever, like he's going to need a coach to fight these other coaches that's doing stuff to him. Whatever happened in 25, it just wasn't good game plans put together.
No, you're not wrong. And I watched every game the kid played, and then he was playing hurt at the end, and he was trying to kind of fight through to, they were still in the hunt, and then all of a sudden he couldn't play anymore.
Yeah.
He just could not play. And so he took his share of a beating this year. But the game plan in 24 was clearly better than what they were doing in 25.
Toughness good.
Yeah.
Big boy throws good. I thought he got weird with the layups sometimes.
Yeah.
You would want him to just hit the layups more often, but I think in 2024 he didn't have a problem hitting layups.
Not at all.
This year he had issues, so that's just something else to think about. Brian, what I liked about his last year's film the most is how fearless he was.
Yes.
In 24, he was fearless. He was letting it rip.
Yeah.
And it could be wide receiver talent, it could be something else, I don't know. But just in 25 tape, he just was holding it a little more, getting himself sacked.
He was waiting for it to open up a little bit more,
Yeah.
and they didn't have the time to let it open up.
If you're a coach, man, and you get Nussmeir and you're building, get him confident with just letting it fly.
Yeah.
Kidner, when he was here in Dallas, that was one thing that was big with Dak or whatever, right? Hey man, you ain't got to hold back so much. Let it go, let it go. And when he's fearless, he's at his best. Having the ability to throw the ball anywhere in the field means something to me. Mm-hmm. So when you hear me breaking down some of these guys, and I'm talking about how guys pushing the ball down the field,
right,
and how fearless they are, that's gonna matter a bunch in my rankings. All right, so that's just that. But yeah, Nussmeir, I got a 3 on him.
I do too.
I got a 3 on him. So we don't have a second round quarterback.
We do not.
Mendoza's my first. Nussmeir is in my 3s, okay?